Hello everybody, welcome to this new episode. In today's video I would like to demonstrate how we can scrape XML content with Python. So I'm going to use Eclipse for this project. I'm going to create a PyDev project. Let's call it scrape XML. I need to configure my interpreter. Okay, everything seems fine. I'm going to create a package, scraper XML Scully, and inside here I'm going to create a file. Just a simple, let's call it main py. So from here I'm going to start working by, the first thing that I will do is import the URL lib.request. Then from XML DOM I will import the mini DOM. There it is. Next I'm going to start using these two libraries. I will store into the response variable whatever I get from the request URL open from a site. So I need to have already, by now I should have already found a website, a feed, news feed, or whatever it is presented in XML format. So I'm going to use for my example my channel. So I have here the ID of my channel, and there's the URL youtube.com/feeds videos.xml channel ID, and if I give in my channel ID here, it will display the latest 15 videos that I have published. So I'm going to use this URL for the purpose for this exercise. So what I do is I grab this URL. It could have been any URL that displays XML content, and that is going to be the response. After that I need to, let's fine-tune a little bit the response, and what I'm going to do is I will pass the response read method to this, and finally I can just parse all the XML documents, all the DOM elements, into a variable that we'll call DOM, and then I get parse string, and here I will pass the results. So once we have these results, we can then start working with it. So let's analyze a little bit the XML document that I have. So I will be interested to extract, each entry represents a video. So I would like to extract, let's say, the ID of each video. I would like to extract this tag. So I can simply say, let's get the node IDs. I will call these node IDs. And what I'm going to do is I go to the domain and I get element by tag name, and I can place in my tag just exactly as it is with the prefix and everything. So that will give me all my tags, all my my IDs, video IDs. And I would like also to have next to it the title. So I will get title, and if I want to get the absolute unique title, I will get this one, which has the prefix. So I will say no titles. It's going to be DOM get element by tag name, not by tag name s, just simply tag name, elements by tag name, yes, and I will put in my tag. So the next thing that I want to do is to define two methods, two functions. One that will extract one single item by ID, and the other one that will just extract yeah, the titles. So the first thing I'm going to do then is I will define a, let's call this show mode, show nodes, let's call it show nodes. Show nodes what it's going to do. It's not going to take any, well actually yes, it will take the node list, one node list, whatever. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to loop through it. For loop for x in node list, then I'm going to simply print x, and from the x I will get, this is what's from the x I will get the first child. Actually I need to get the first child, and from that first child I will extract the data. So then if I just call this function here underneath, I will say show nodes, and I will pass one of the lists that I defined. In this case, let's pass the node titles, and so that would print me all the titles that it finds in that document. Let's give it a try, and there we go. Those are all the titles. So let's say that I want to concatenate this title information with something else. I want to, let's pass the IDs this time, node IDs. Something went wrong here. Oh, because I am, yeah, actually I don't need to node list. I don't need to modify that. I can just say from here, instead of passing the node titles, I will pass the node IDs, and node list. Okay, save this. So yeah, that will give me only the IDs, and let's say I want to concatenate that with more information. I want to not only print the title but also print description or the ID, something next to one another. So in that case I will define another function. This one I will call getSingle, and this will take also a node list as input, and here I'm not going to look through anything. I will just extract by ID. So in that case I need to pass to this function also another parameter. Let's call it index. Let's call it index, and what I'm going to do then is that I will return a single element. So a single element from the node list that I'm receiving here. From that node list I will get the index that is also being passed, and from that index I will get the first child and extract the data from this child and return it. So in that case I would like to be calling this single function from the show nodes, but I will have to pass an index, and for that I need to initialize an index. So I will call this, it's going to be a counter, and this counter will be incrementing itself after each iteration, after each cycle. It will be incrementing itself by 1, and so this time I'm going to print here. If I call this with the node list, I will have the node list, the IDs available here, and on top of that I would like to just separate by the pipe and give the title. So I will get the title by saying getSingle, and I will pass here the node titles and also the counter, so that it will then print everything together. So let's give it a try again, and there you go. There's the the video ID and the title. So you can imagine the things that can be done here, filtering and concatenation, all those things, probably connecting with the database, you name it. So that's all what I wanted to actually this is not being used right now as I see here because I double imported. Let's see. Yeah, actually we don't need to import that other library. That was an unnecessary import there, but that's the whole thing. Thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful. Until the next time, cheers.